Jackson's first free throw is good. Back up to a 3-point lead now for Rochester. Or knocked down to a 3-point lead. In and out, no good, and that's where it'll stay. 66-63. Rochester with the basketball and the lead. Ball tipped away, but still picked and maintained by Rochester. Helton, another three. Corner, no good. Rebound, Freeman, put back, no good, but a foul. So they're going to get that on Wolford.
He's looking confused about the call.
Maceo Wolford.
Had me thinking that he was nowhere near the play.
No, he was near the play.
Yeah, I know. The look that he gave, I was like, who, me?
As he laughs about it with the ref in front of us, right off to the left of your screen. And the Rochester Razor Sharks, 3-point lead. Freeman's first free throw, no good. Second one is no good. Tipped around, picked up by Freeman. His putback, no good. Gets his own rebound again. Swings it cross court. Ullman over to Helton, a three in the corner. That's no good. Rebounded by Lester. So after all that, no points for Rochester. Erie trailing by 3. Lester Jones, no good. Rebounded, knocked away, and picked up by Rochester. Just under 10.5 left to go here in the third quarter. Crouch, pull-up jumper off the side of the rim. Rebounded by Crouch. Ullman for 3. That's good. Corey Ullman from outside.
Hopefully the lid's off for the young man, Corey Ullman, now after knocking that shot down and get up here and play a little bit more assertive D.
So Corey Ullman getting a pep talk before the third quarter started. Him and Gabe Freeman talking about how we're going to handle Jackson, who now has the ball underneath the hoop. Foul called. And Jackson says, I'm not going to fight it, but you know that play was wrong. I'm not going to fight it. But I'm going to talk about it as I run up the court. I'm not angry. I just want to give you the ball, put my hands up, and
I'm going to talk to myself.
And argue with myself about the call that you just made that I don't agree with.
Well, yeah, we could agree to disagree there, Troy. I'm quite sure that's the ref's position on it. We're just going to agree to disagree. But I really like this Stover guy and how he's protecting that rim. I'm just really excited to see how he's going after everything. He's contesting all shots around that basket. And I noticed that for the most part, we've been looking to get in the painted area in this second half to establish that lead. And I'm quite sure the coach talked to them about that over the halftime.
Rochester Razor Sharks possession in a 6-point lead. Just under 9:45 left to go here in the third. Ullman for 3. That's no good. Front rim. It seems as if Rochester's getting all the offensive rebounds. That time, can't come away with it. Jackson maintains the dribble and all the traffic. Can he finish? Blocked by Stover. Tries to get him in the air.
Travel.
And they say travel. No, foul. No, they're going to call foul on Anthony Stover.
Wow.
You can see here, Jackson with it, waiting here on the replay, and they're on the top of the head. Before his feet came down, the foul was committed on the head of Jackson. And so Troy Jackson at the free throw line gets one to go.
Coach is letting the ref know that he's not very happy with that call. But after looking at the replay, justified.
Second free throw by Jackson is good. Jackson getting a lot of his points from the free throw line. Ullman thought about a 3. Freeman to Stover and the foul.
Stover with the big finish at the rim, baby. Big boy. They didn't reward him. He didn't block several shots. He rolls to the basket. They dump it off to him, and it's nice to see that he finishes it.
Well, you like that extra pass, especially to the big man left alone under the middle.
You got to reward that guy. You want him to rebound for you. You want him to block shots for you and help start that fast break for you. Every now and again, you got to give him a little bunny at the rim.
Can't finish at the free throw line as you get the replay of the dunk there. Freeman, Wolford on him to Jackson. Allman on him. Dishes it out, stolen away. Helton. Freeman can't get it to go. Jackson with the rebound. Back the other way comes Erie. Dishes it off. Jones gives it up. Dixon can't finish. Gets his own rebound. Knocks it away. Stover steals it. Over to Gabe Freeman. Cross midcourt. Thought about it. Allman, corner. 3. Bang!
That's a momentum killer right there, baby.
Corey Allman with a big 3 in that corner left alone. And Erie is dealing with a 9-point deficit now. Boy, let's see if they can come back again.
We were having a conversation in warm-ups, and I was telling you about athletes and non-athletic guys.
Yes, you did. And
I
you gave me a new line.
And
I wrote it down because I can't wait to use it. But please introduce this new line.
I'm looking at this guy, and we were speaking about athletes and guys that's non-athletic.
Yes.
And I said, well, you can look at certain guys, but you got to be careful with that because sometimes you got, warm-up legends.
Warm-up legends. I loved it.
So you see them in warm-up, and they look like world beaters.
Yes.
But I want to speak to the big guy, and I noticed that it was kind of cumbersome when he would go up and try to, go up high for like little dunks and stuff. And I was like, oh, it's not fluid the way he explodes off the floor for it. And it was no more self-evident as the coaches subbed him out, down here on the missed dunk. And when you know that it's somewhat burdensome for you to go up like that, there's nothing wrong with you laying it up off the glass. It's okay because we need the 2 points.
Jones with it. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
More than we need to ooh and ah,
As he was playing along that line off of the pass, foot stepped over it. But I thought warm-up legend, Allman 3, that's no good. Moore with the rebound. Zach Moore pushing it up the court. And a scoop layup in for 2. Who's going to stop Zach Moore?
Somebody better stop him. But that's unacceptable. That guy went 94 feet for a layup. Somebody needs a good talking to right about now.
You were disgusted. I don't know why. But
that type of defense does not win championships.
Lakes trying to run right by and gives the nice lay-in in for 2 as the Hurricanes, as I said before, this is what they do. They punch back. They get punched, but they will punch back. Cuts it down to a 5-point deficit. 7:50 left to go here in this third quarter. So the Razor Sharks, you just talked a bit about it. That play, Zach Moore goes coast to coast. You didn't like it, and it's the tone and the feel of the team. You can sense it when a team's sort of like, don't let them do that. And look what happens. Erie comes back, scores there, scores again, and comes back with another counterpunch.
Yeah, I love the boxing terminology, or analogy, shall I say. Because it is counter-punching and punching. I'm going to take your best shot, now here's mine, and now let's see what comes back. But what ends up happening is I think that the Razor Sharks are kind of pressing a little bit, Tyree, where they want to blow these guys out. They want to get it going, and just kind of for the moment forgetting that what's made you great is the little things. It's the dribble drives, it's the pick and pops, it's to throw it in and then move without the ball, step into your scoring areas. Great move by the big right there. That was just one heck of a move, by Anthony Stover.
Stover almost got that shot to go down too. And it's what's fun about watching Premier Basketball League is everybody's trying to get to the next level. Everybody wants to, play for as long as they can. Go a chance for them to travel. Basketball ends for everybody. You can always play for fun, but professionally it will end for everyone. No one plays forever. And for some of these guys, they're continuing to develop. Their ultimate dream is to get to the highest possible level.
You know, some of these guys, I can't say that I see, you know, a guy that, well, I can't say that. You know, NBA type talent. I mean, with when I look at Troy, you know, at maybe a two, or
Freeman.
maybe a point, he might be able to do something there. When I look at this Freeman guy right here, at a small forward, you know, continue to, you know, strengthen up that jump shot. You know, I can see where maybe, you know, maybe he can get a look, at least a nice workout.
But every one of these guys is trying to get to that sort of next level and keep it moving.
You know, definitely the biggest contract that you can get, because you play this game, A, first because you love it, but B, when you've been fortunate enough to play for pay, you want to make the most money that you can because it's such a small window. And hopefully you got a good management team around you so that you're not falling into that 70 percentile of guys who are broke after their career is over.
6:56 left to go. It's such an important thing because I think you know, wherever you are, when you're playing at a professional level or you're at college, you haven't gotten to that level yet. You're right. It is such a small window, and you'll have guys who are on teams leave teams because they have better offers, and it's a part of business. It's no different than anybody else who works a 9-to-5 job and is looking for better benefits or a bigger pay raise or a bigger corner office or a higher position. Same thing here in the Premier Basketball League, but a lot of these guys have the skill level to play at the next level, and a lot of them don't. And the question is whether or not they can get the most out of themselves to find out.
Well, one thing I can say about this Razor Shark organization is they tend to put, the brain trust is just off the chain. They typically put coaching in place that's great with player development. So you'll see a Jerice Kraut looking a lot better than when he first started with us. You'll see guys as they come into this program, developing, whether it's as a player or whether even in coaching philosophies. So it's really a family-oriented type program about empowering you to be the best you. Oh my goodness!
That was just.
Oh my goodness! And that was block number 8
for Anthony Stover. That ball went into the.
Wow!
Woo! Right into your living room. Look at this. Look at where this travels. The Stover. Meanwhile, back to live action, Lester Jones.
And it looks like he's determined to catch on fire in the second half. Okay, Troy, you did it first half. I got you the second half, buddy.
Knocked away, picked up by Erie, down by 4, trying to cut this lead down, and it's out of bounds. That's an errant pass. And that's Erie. In that play, on that possession right there, I know you want to go to a fast break. You don't have the numbers. Slow it down. You could definitely get a good shot off, especially if Lester Jones is starting to heat up. And guys can start feeling it from the field. Stover gives it up. Freeman. No one there. Oh, it didn't even go down. For a minute, I thought it wasn't going to go down.
We'll take it.
And Gabe Freeman with a shrug of the shoulders saying, oh, at least it went down. Foul. That'll be on Hilton.
That's a bad boy right there, that Lester. It's nice to see a player that can kind of impose his will at will. On this level, Lester Jones is one of those guys.
81-75 the score. Rochester with the lead, third quarter. Little over 5.5 left. Thank you for those watching on ESPN3. Welcome back live to the Blue Cross Arena, 81-75, the lead for the Razor Sharks. 6-0 on the year, 2-3 are the Erie Hurricanes, but they're coming in fighting hard today in front of a nice crowd here at the Blue Cross Arena. Tariq Spence with you, Tony Scott also in the building. Anthony Stovers had a nice game, a nice little block party today.
Yeah, seven of them thus far.
At the line, Lester Jones, one of the leading scorers in the Premier Basketball League, leading the way for Erie throughout the season. Not in this game, though. Troy Jackson has been the leading scorer for Erie in this game, but Jones knocked out on jumper earlier, takes two more from the line there, and they're going to need him in the next 5.5 minutes here in this third entire fourth quarter in what is only a 4-point lead for Rochester. Freeman with it. Down low. Stover can't get it over the hump. Rebounded by Jones. Gets it. Brings it up the court. Freddie Durr on him defensively. Crossover. Driving. Foul. Physical. Freeman hits the deck.
He's putting a lot of pressure on him. What Fred really wants to do is just sit on the young man, see where he's at right now. He's playing up.
Foul on Freddie Durr, and they want to stay as close as they can on Lester Jones. They do not want him to get comfortable.
What he really should be trying to do, Tyree, in all honesty, he doesn't have to be overly aggressive like that and bumping the young man that way. As much as you want to sit on his left hand and force him to his non-dominant hand, his right. I could deal with you scoring baskets. That's what you're going to do. That's what you've done pretty much all your life, is score baskets. But however, I need to be able to make it a little more difficult for you to score baskets, and knowing that your dominant hand is your left hand. So my thing is to make sure that I force you right.
First free throw by Jones is no good. Second one is good, so he's 1 of 2 from the line. And it is now a 3-point lead for Rochester. Blanks harasses Crouch before he gives it up to Allman. Allman draws a double team, swings it back over Crouch. Crouch drives towards the hole, gives it up. Freddie Durr, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, back the other way. Comes Erie. Driving right towards the hole, Blanks, can't find anybody. Working it down low. Nice scoop layup and in for 2. Tyrone Clark. Tipped away, picked up to Erie. They've got the numbers 3-on-1. Can't finish. Blank foul.
Careless pass, which is not typical of Jerice, but that was too lazy of a pass, Terry. No sense of urgency on it. See how just one hand just kind of lofts it over there. You got to understand the momentum of the game. At this time right now, you got to take care of the ball. You have to execute. There's no time for a lazy pass.
Number 1, David Blanks. First free throw is good. That's an awkward free throw shot, but it doesn't really matter how awkward it is. If it goes down, it's effective.
There you go. They tied the ball game up with that.
81. Second one no good. Rebound by Moore. Put back no good. And it will be Rochester Razor Sharks basketball. Moore, very slow to get up. Now he does, and he wants to walk it off, and he will. Not sure if it was the knee. That's what he grabbed first.
Krause is bringing it up now. Let's see what he does with this guy right now.
Game tied at 81. 4:20 left to go, third quarter. Blanks all over him, foul. They're going to call it on him.
This was on Erie's number 1, David Blanks. His second.
So David Blanks with the foul. He'll talk to coach about it. Just got to stay close on Jerice Crouch, who can be very dangerous. Speed, very deceptive. He's coming off an injury, too.
I would love to see him in some pick-and-roll situations. He's been shooting a lot of jump shots, and I don't know what the injury was. I've been away for a little while. But you want to get him in some pick-and-roll situations where you got a good shooter on that same side. So as he comes off the pick-and-roll, he can really, penetrate and penetrate and either kick or finish or hit the roll man.
Razor Sharks 1 point lead, 82-81. 4:09 left to go here. Troy Jackson tried to check in really quickly, and ref said, "Nope, not yet. We're not ready for you." Errant pass there. It's the second time Jones has done that, and the second time it's been with Moore that he thought would go deep into that corner, and he hasn't. Stayed on that wing. Allman for three. Bang. Big time from downtown. Corey Allman puts Rochester back up by 4. Blanks running into trouble. Oh, slip, fall. Said his foot went out of bounds. Turnover. Rashawn Mellinger.
We've got Troy coming back into the game, and we're going to see as he gives Lester Jones a break. So you're not losing any offensive firepower with that, because if he's on fire the way he was in the first half, and what I just saw this quarter here from Lester Jones.
Well, you got about 3.5 left to go here in this third. That gives Jones some chance to rest up, and they're going to foul. But it's away from the basketball. Move and pick. They're going to get Dele Coker for it. And so that's Dele Coker's third foul. That brings up Darren Moore. So he'll come in for Coker. And for the Razor Sharks, they have the 4-point lead. Erie with the basketball. Foul is they're going to get Freeman, this time holding Dixon. And Dixon will head to the free throw line. So this is exactly what Erie's been doing. Slowing the game down, driving towards the hole, trying to get their ball penetration. You talked about it, dribble penetration, balls down low to their bigs. Dixon makes the first free throw. And get some points at the line. It's worked a lot with Jackson today. Now Dixon at the line, a chance to trim into this lead by Rochester. Second free throw, no good, as Gabe Freeman skies for the rebound. Randall with it, cross midcourt, drives towards the hole, sees Dixon. Corner, Freddie Durr, good. So Fred Durr from downtown, deep in that corner. Lead extended out to 6 now for Rochester. Jackson with Randall all over him. Double team. Gets the layup to go.
Going to be interesting to see, as he has his second unit in right now, with a guy like Troy as aggressive as he is, to see. Oh my goodness! What an athletic play by Freeman.
So Fred Durr misses the 3. Freeman with the rebound and putback all in one motion. Jackson, that's no good. He was looking for a foul, didn't get it. Freeman to Randall. Randall gives it up. Freeman. Freeman down low, blocked.
I would like to see that moved ahead a little bit quicker. You know, I don't know if he just didn't see that cross-court pass early here from half court or not. But he throws it over there. It looks a little bit different. You don't have to go and try to earn them from the free throw line. You know, you're going in and you're getting it sure enough, too.
2:27 left to go here in this third quarter. We'll be back with the rest of the third quarter coming up next. Razor Sharks have done it again. It's a 6-point lead, but don't go anywhere. We've been here before where Erie's come back. We'll see if they can do it next here on the Rochester Razor Sharks Broadcast Network. Back here live at the Blue Cross Arena, 2:27 left to go here in the third quarter. Rochester only up by 6. As I said before, Tony Scott with us here today. Tariq Spence with you. You know, I was telling you, Tony, this is the quarter in which the Razor Sharks usually separate themselves from their competition. But Erie has been able to come back, stick around, 6-point lead with 2:27 left to go. A lot of teams have been crushed in that third quarter. You're seeing them stick around here in the third, but Rochester starting to get that team chemistry rolling here.
They are. You know, and with anything, you know, Terry, it's a process. And just because we've been typically known for blowing a team out in the third quarter doesn't mean that it's going to always hold true.
Second free throw by Freeman is good, and Rochester extending their lead now. 8 points for Rochester. Erie with the ball. Jackson runs into a double team. That baseline cut off there. That's perfect defense there because you use the baseline to stop you. You can only go so far. You have 2 players come out. They're trying to bottle up Jackson so he doesn't feel free to hit those threes.
Yeah, I mean, they're forcing him off his spot. In other words, what I mean when I say that is he's been comfortable catching it and maybe one dribble and pulling a 3-point shot to where now he's in a situation where they're on him and they're forcing him to run off of that spot. And he's trying to use his upper body strength there to turn that corner on Kyle Randall. And he did a great job of just sliding his feet and forcing him down the baseline.
Meanwhile, Corey Ullman has picked it up here in this third quarter. Another 3 for him. Rochester now with a double-digit lead. Layup foul. Freddie Durr hits the deck hard and gets help from his teammates.
Young people watching this game, this is why strength training is of the utmost importance.
We were talking about that off air, especially as you get older, and how important it is because you're going to hit the deck, and you're going to hit the deck hard sometimes.
And the higher up you go in play, the more aggressive they allow you to play.
So Fred Durr at the line. He gets 2 with 1:34 left to go. That's the first of 2. And for the Razor Sharks, it took a minute, but now a 12-point lead. Still plenty of time. Still got the entire fourth quarter for Erie. See if they've got one more run back left in them. They've been dealing with this for the entire game. Trailing by 12, cut it to 1. Take the lead for a possession, only to lose it and have the Razor Sharks go right back up. Moore, nice lay-in for 2. Great passing and separation.
I like his ability to finish. Knowing that a person was running hard right behind him, he didn't go in and try to dunk it. He was just content with finishing at the basket.
They're going to call a foul. That's going to be on Randall. They're keeping Randall on Jackson defensively, and so far it's working. The reason why we mentioned it earlier, Jackson had 23 points at half. Since then, Razor Sharks have bottled them up a little bit. Rebound, Darren Moore. Out to Randall. Randall brings it across midcourt. Jackson on him. And they're going to get a foul. That one's going to be on, I believe that's going to be on Chase. And now we've got some words between.
Fouls called on the Sharks, number 32, Chase McKinney.
Chase McKinney had some words, and I'm not sure who they were for, but he didn't like the way he was hit there.
Apparently he must have chucked him as he tried to take position in the low post area. I didn't quite see the play.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, he took offense to it, and I'm glad that nothing calmer heads prevailed.
McKinney still walking around. That knee's bothering him. If you ever had that injury where it's either right on the knee or up near that thigh area, it takes a while to get readjusted to that.
It does, and I never injured my knee, thank God. but I did have what they call Osgood slaughter. It's also known as jumper's knee or tendonitis. You know, so I frequently had to ice it down sometimes, and some days it would be so painful it hurt just to stand up and walk.
Wow. The bank is open as free throw goes down for Rashawn. And the Razor Sharks have the lead here. Randall's jumper is no good. McKinney with the rebound. Dixon on him, trying to get the ball down low to Moore. Moore working hard, gets it to go.
Nice little left hand bunny.
And the Razor Sharks separation continues here in the third quarter. Within the last 2 minutes, they have been on quite a run. Now a 16-point lead, cut down 14.
That was a nice little jump hook by Craig Dixon. And that's a shot that's gone by the wayside. You know, I remember when that was the shot to have, a la Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Which, you know, everybody I've talked to, old school, new school, who've ever seen it, I started watching basketball at the end of Jabbar's career. They have never been able to explain why no other player wants to try to perfect that sky hook.
You know what? And it's funny because I've been trying to get my sons to at least get the jump hook.
I don't understand. Somebody invented a shot that's nearly impossible, if not impossible, to block, and no one wants to pick it up.
I know. I don't know if it just looks funny. I don't know if it's an art to it. I mean, it's not something that you're going to easily do. You know, it's going to take time really getting into in the gym and working on it. But when you start really looking at basketball, it's turned into a global game.
Well, a lot of the stuff that is going on nowadays involves the science of the game. That I think you would like. The fact that spacing, teamwork, knowing where guys are on the floor. Prime example are the Spurs, the NBA champions, who are up there in age, but they know each other's spots so well, as that's no good. It wouldn't have counted it if it gone. But the Rochester Razor Sharks have the lead, 102-89 at the end of 3 quarters of play. Do the Erie Hurricanes have a storm brewing in the fourth? We'll find out coming up next here on the Rochester Razor Sharks Broadcast Network. Thank you for watching on Soul of the South and ESPN 3. Back here live at the Blue Cross Arena, getting ready to start the fourth quarter. Rochester Razor Sharks did what they do in that third quarter. Little separation, but What's interesting about this game between Rochester and Erie is Erie, every time Rochester goes up by double digits, Erie comes right back. So for the start of this fourth quarter, very important for Erie to get on the right roll, not just because they're down 102 to 89, but the fact that the Razor Sharks can add more to this lead if Erie isn't careful. Charging foul.
That's definitely not the way you want to start the third quarter. I definitely understand being aggressive, trying to, get some points in the paint.
Zach Moore fouling Darren Moore. And Rochester will get possession here in the fourth. Earlier on, we were having a very healthy discussion about some of the players here in the Premier Basketball League. Freddie Durr from downtown. And the fact that some of these players are not done playing yet. Some of them are just getting started. Having guys early on in their career trying to make it to the highest possible level that they can. And to earn as much money as possible. We're talking a bit about that because eventually this portion of your career, big three by Wilford, Erie needed that one. This career will end.
It will. It ends for us all, and I've been fortunate to travel the world playing basketball. I remember working out back in the 90s for L.A., working out for the Spurs, working out for the Rockets. Of course, that dream did not happen for me, but I was blessed to be able to go overseas playing Spain, Turkey, and Hong Kong. And having said that, you have to learn how to put money away and set yourself up for the second half of your life, which is going to be a lot longer than the first half of your basketball career.
Which is true, yeah, absolutely.
And I've been able to start my own construction, company, Scott's Unlimited, where we go out and we not only do asphalt, we do concrete, we do demo, and we do contract labor agreements here, locally. We're on that tower at Midtown project.
Congratulations for that one.
And I'm really excited about that. And I was just reading in the paper the other day where they actually found the Glaziers.
Oh, yeah,
And that was such a blessing. I mean, it's bad enough to lose a loved one, but then to not be able to bring closure, because of the body not being found, my prayers are still with that Glazier family, just as they continue to heal over such a great loss, even our great city.
Yeah, very much so.
He was so
and reinvesting back into Rochester too.
Yeah, he
in the
really
downtown.
was big with that. He was a visionary. And he was easy to speak with. He was a very personable man.
For a lot of people, Rochester Razor Sharks in New York. Rochester has gone through a bit of a downtown change, and the Glazier family, a big part of that change going forward. And this is how intense it gets, as no one seemed to have heard the whistle. And Corey Ullman and Maceo Wolford. And a tech's going to be called on Moore. I don't think Moore was even in the game. Was he on the bench?
He's on the bench.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have a young coach, and it's not a knock on the guy, because you can see that he knows his X's and O's, and he's doing a great job with managing. But he looks to be almost the same age as some of the players.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what you end up seeing happen is, guys may get a little unruly, a little emotional from the bench. I'm quite sure once you hit them in the pocket for doing stuff like that, they'll realize
that goes away
shut
fast.
up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's correct to say on television.
I think you can get away with it.
But you have to let people know that, no, I know we're the same age. However, I'm still the boss. And because of your opening your mouth and getting that tech, I'm going to hit you, for a 30-year check this week.
That was Moore. They called offensive on him, so a turnover. This game, a 13-point lead for the Razor Sharks with a little under 10 minutes left to go. So Rochester better not fall asleep here, because Erie's got some shooters that can put them back in the game. Lester Jones back in for Erie. He's one of them. Wolford off the dribble. Down low baseline. Dixon. Back out McDonald. Floater. Not able to go. Lost it on the way up. Randall. Speedy. Back the other way. McKinney finishes.
Way to finish.
But we were talking a little bit about life after basketball, and you've done well for yourself. Also, there's that discussion again being brought up about kids going to school. Whereas whether or not the one and dones should be eliminated, should guys be able to go straight from high school into the NBA? Should they be forced to stay longer than 1 year and get their education? How many of them are actually getting their education? How many of the schools are just football factories or basketball factories? You know, that discussion has come up again, and there's nothing wrong with more education.
What? And I don't want to be politically correct. I really want to tell you exactly how I feel.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, when I went to Syracuse University eons ago, you know, I didn't have the wisdom that I have as a 40-plus-year-old man.
Yeah.
You know, I really focused a lot on basketball and really wanted to get in there and shine and do particular things. And most kids who go to college, they go to college to graduate and to be able to make as much money as they possibly can, you know. So it's just, in this situation here, these guys go to college on an athletic scholarship, a lot of whom would not even be able to attend college if it wasn't for their athletic ability, but nevertheless, you're there to try and earn as much money as you possibly can. And I don't know if you want to speak to that or not, because I'll finish up my train of thought right after that if you wanted to speak to that.
No, that's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, so I'm saying that to say this, that I go to college, and if somebody's offering me millions of dollars to come out now, who am I to say don't go after that? If what you're looking for is to earn as much money as you can.
Oh, we'll talk a bit about that because I want to add in on it. 8:53 left to go here. Rochester Razor Sharks leading it 110-94 here on the Rochester Razor Sharks Broadcast Network. Back here live at the Blue Cross Arena, 8:53 left to go here in the game. Fourth quarter, 110-94. We were talking a little bit, Tariq Spence, Tony Scott with you, as we were going into the break here, about staying in school, maybe going from high school to the professional level, specifically strictly with basketball. We were talking about this off air for a little bit during the break, where, you know, they want 3 years of college play, at least, or close to it, for college football. One and done is what it is right now for college basketball. And careers that who knows how long they're going to last.
The average NBA career is 4 years.
For the NFL, my guess it's right around there, if not shorter, because of the violence of that sport. But I've often found that, you know, at 16, 17, maturity doesn't really come to you as soon as you turn that age. You know, you gradually grow and get it as you get older. Not to say that you can't be at 17 or 18 more mature than a 21 or 25 or even a 30-year-old.
More often than not, that's not true.
But for the most part, yes. For the most part, you know, an 18-year-old is going to do what we did at 18, which isn't always the right thing because you're learning.
At 18, you're prone to make poor choices. And, you know, and I tell my kids all the time, I said, you know, my hopes for you guys is why you guys are stuck on stupid. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Because right around 16, 17, you think you know it.
Yeah.
But you really don't realize you're clueless.
Yeah.
You know, and you haven't lived enough life to be able to make certain sound decisions. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because life has a way of teaching you certain things. And as a parent, it's my job to kind of point out, you know, potholes that's coming before you, you know, and help you on life's journey. And hopefully you listen. So I always tell them, my hopes for you is that in your decision making, that you don't make any decision that is life altering. You know, don't become an early mother or early father. Don't go out here and hang with the wrong group of individuals, and now you're looking at incarceration, and any dreams that you had is gone to the wayside now because of one bad night. Or don't go to this party and become so inebriated to the point that you sleep with somebody that now parent is upset that you slept with her and want to call rape, and now you're known for the rest of your life as an offender.
Yeah.
You know, things like that you really want to guard against. So you really want to look at the quality of your friendships and the things that you're doing. And that's not being judgmental. It's just, you know, you want to make sure that your kids they're an investment and they're making good, sound decisions. And having said that, if I'm the Razor Shark organization, the young men that I bring into my organization, I want to make sure that they're making sound decisions. Why? Because they are an investment. And that goes for every team in the PBL and any other league where I'm going into my pocket and paying. And this is why they have a clause in pretty much everybody's contract that speaks to, you know, behavior that's detrimental to the organization.
Well, it's funny you bring this up. They did another win for the Atlanta Hawks the other night, and I was watching the post game. And they were talking to some of the players on the team, and one of the things that they said, high character guys. And I think this is what a lot of people are always wondering, do you have high character guys? Now, the Razor Sharks organization has always brought in high character guys like yourself, guys that will go without in the community. And I've been out in the community, schools, different events, with the Razor Sharks, whether I'm doing my own radio show or my radio station is out with them, or I've seen them out at events, and they bring high character players into the community. And every time that either my radio station, WDKX in Rochester, or the Razor Sharks have gone to a school, every guy that they have brought there are high character guys. And that's what every university wants on their campus. That's what every company wants in their building. That's what every, body wants, they want to run into. They want to run in you want to work in a field or be around people who are high character. Mm-hmm. Now, not everybody is, and not everybody gets it at the same age.
That's true.
That being said, I mean, there's no way to know
when
until you live life. When the light's going to go off
for you.
And so it's a debate we'll have forever, whether you agree with 18-year-olds going straight to the league.
I don't agree.
That is a talent that you're born with. I say you learn a lot about yourself on a college campus. That's just me. That's how I was brought up. Not everybody needs what I needed for 4 years of college. Some people are worldly and understand life is bigger than just themselves, and they're fine. And others need that extra guidance and life experience, as you said, and need to learn from their mistakes.
When in all honesty, Terry, and I'm going to hit this and let it go, when I look at most kids that's athletic enough to play one and go, when I look at their economical situation, they usually come from economically impoverished families.
Yeah.
And when you start looking at decision-making in that group of individuals, it's not that good. Doesn't mean that they're bad people. It's just because of their economic situation, they tend to be high-risk takers.
McKinney from downtown. As Chase McKinney's getting some minutes here. 6:20 left to go here in this game. Razor Sharks just running away with it.
They are. They really are. So if you're prone to, or you come from a culture of poor decision making.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a skill to get me into a place, but you start seeing the huge entourages. You start seeing the 4 and 5 cars when you start seeing the $1 million homes. You start seeing the over excessiveness with the jewelry, because a lot of these guys that come from these type of neighborhoods, they seen people who are probably doing things that somewhat or not somewhat. I'm just going to keep it 100.
Not legal.
That's just illegal activities.
Yeah.
And usually those guys, they dress and they flow a certain way. And what they don't realize is at some point that you're going to run through that $3 million contract.
Absolutely. With being over loyal to people who are not 100% loyal to you.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's one of the things in the pitfalls. ESPN has done a great job. One of the best documentaries and the most honest one. And you could actually do a few sequels on this. Broke, the 30 for 30 documentary, talking about how athletes go broke, how they're not planning for life after when they play, how they think that money will never end and it's gambled away, or it's drugs or whatever it may be, whatever the vice is, that they lose it all. As Troy Jackson up and down 3, but with 5:10 left to go, it's too little too late to be banging those out right now, as the Razor Sharks will go to 7-0 in the next 5 minutes after this game is over. But it's a tough debate. You don't want to stop somebody from making money, but you also don't want them to make the mistakes, not being responsible.
I, as an owner, I'm also responsible for putting you in a position where you can be successful. I understand as a franchise, I would want to win ball games. But what systems do you have in place to mentor these guys? Even if you put them, okay, your contract is this, however, we're going to pay you out in increments.
Well, that's what's great about the Premier Basketball League. Guys trying to get to that next level, get all the skill work they can to do that. We'll wrap up next here on the Rochester Razor Sharks Broadcast Network. 29-point lead for the Rochester Razor Sharks, as they have just mopped the floor here, and that's one of the very few highlights Erie has had here in the fourth quarter with the Hurricanes. So it came a little bit late, but the Razor Sharks put the pedal to the metal at the beginning of this fourth quarter. Fred Durr, no good, back of the iron, swings it back around. Casey Sheehan gives it a more in for two. So the extra passing, the spacing, Razor Sharks able to capitalize. That ball knocked away. Foul, no call there. And refs don't see there's an Erie player down. They're letting the ball continue to flow here. Dixon will score. And I don't understand why they're not stopping the clock here. He hasn't moved. Now, my question is this: Can the refs call a timeout when a player's down like that? That player never moved for Erie.
You have to allow the ball to continue to do what it's doing. It has to be a break and play for me to then stop that. So in other words, when he went down, they were coming down. I can't stop the play with him down there on the floor and then penalize the Razor Sharks a scoring opportunity because a guy fell. What happens if it's a turnover? You got a fast break opportunity. I just fall on the floor. Oh, my knee, my knee, my knee.
Well, I don't know what it was. I don't know what the foul call was. Whether it was a knee injury. I thought it was to the head because he grasped his head immediately and then stayed down on his knees for a while. I thought it was a head injury.
It was a great referee call. He did not get fouled, and he did a great acting job. And sometimes you can win an Oscar when you're getting the doors blown off.
Sean Mellinger appears to be okay, but for a moment there, I thought there was always a stoppage of play when a player is hurt like that. I thought that the ref had the discretion to say, "Hey, wait a minute."
Now this is when it should have stopped. The referee should have blown the whistle, killed the play once the Erie team regained possession of the ball. But as long as the Razor Sharks have possession of the ball, you cannot stop it. You have to allow the ball to do what the ball is going to do. Now the ball is back in Erie's hands. Now it's okay. I'm going to stop this play because I have a player down on the floor for safety purposes.
Darren Moore able to collect that one in the paint, doing work here late. 3:30 left to go here in this game. Jackson for three, front rim no good. Sheehan with the rebound. A foul called there as Jackson was going for the steal. McDonald will check in for Jones.
Razor Sharks built this lead. It was just so gradual. 1 minute it was 1 point, next minute it was 6 points, next minute it was 12 points, next minute it was 14 points, next minute is what you see right now, 21.
Well, it seems to me as a great pass there, Randall McKinney, extra step. You're absolutely right. It has been point after point after point for the Razor Sharks, and Erie just has not been able to come back from this deficit. They had been down by 12, came back, cut it within one, went down by 12 again, came back. And this third time, they were not able to do it, and the Razor Sharks were able to add to their lead and double up on it, hence the 31-point lead.
And the other thing that I noticed was not able to happen for them was they were never able to get Troy going along with Lester.
Yeah, at the same time.
And then it was a long extended period of time where you had one on the floor and not the other.
Randall scoop layup on the other end after breaking down the defense. Langston Sheehan on him. Working hard, spinning, puts it up, draws the foul, no good. That'll put Lynx at the line with 2:29 left to go here in the game. So the Rochester Razor Sharks will improve now to 7-0 on the year. And Erie will fall to 2-4. And with 2:29 left to go here in this game, we'll take our final break and get ready to wrap things up here for the Razor Sharks. It's another win. Erie fighting all the way down to the end of the third quarter when the Razor Sharks took over and had the lead they have now, 31 points, here on the Rochester Razor Sharks Broadcast Network. Back here live at the Blue Cross Arena, 2:29 left to go here in the game. Rochester Razor Sharks will improve to 7-0 on the year after this win today. Why do I say that? Well, they're up 138-107. And with this little time left to go in the game, it's all about winding down the clock. So Rick Spence, Tony Scott with you here on the Rochester Razor Sharks Broadcast Network, Soul of the South Network, and ESPN3. David Blanks for Erie at the free throw line. And his first free throw rattles around but goes down. So that layoff for the Razor Sharks, they had 2 weeks off, Tony, and looked a little rusty. Showed up late, middle of the third, maybe late third, and then pedaled to the metal the whole way fourth quarter.
Definitely.
And they've done it a lot with some of the guys who are off the bench right now. Sheehan with the steal, stolen away from him by Clark. Clark, bounce pass, blank to Clark, put it on the highlight reel for him.
There you go, young fella. Too little,
Tyrone
too late,
Clark.
but he's a high flyer.
Moore banging down low. Help coming. Points to himself, says, I didn't make the right decision. Rochester still with possession of the basketball.
He should have hit Durr on the cut. But nevertheless, it's still Razor Shark ball.
Moore lost it, got it back. They're saying it was a fumble.
He didn't have control of the ball. It's the correct call.
They wanted him to turn that over. 3, that's no good. Rebounded by Rochester. And
that's the way to sell it, Durr.
When 1:30 left to go, the Rochester Razor Sharks will continue their winning ways. You know, one thing we didn't get a chance to talk about, the Golden State duo, that Thompson, third quarter. My goodness. Have you ever been that far into the zone? I know you've had trips to the zone. You got a freaking fire, Miles, to the zone. But that was on another level. That was first class all the way.
37 and a quarter. I've never done 37 and a quarter. I've done 37 and a half. I've had a game or two where I've had 37 and a half. But to do that in a 12-minute span is just incredible. It speaks to the effort and the time, the countless time in the gym of just shooting the ball and catching it in a rhythm. And then a lot of that goes to his teammates, too, to see that he is hot and hitting them in his sweet spot where he can catch it and release the ball. You know, it's not just so much that he scored baskets, but you had to have guys who were willing to give you the ball as well and not feel like, oh, he's shining and not me.
Yeah, but Tony, I don't think he missed a shot. It'd be different if they didn't give him the ball and he had taken 3 shots in a row and missed it. They gave him the ball, and every time they gave him the ball, he shot it, and it went in.
Yeah. So, great defense there by Kazzy.
Freddie Durr. That's muscle. I still want to score no matter what. And he gets the score in the and one. So Fred Durr will head to the free throw line. So with 1 minute, 2 seconds left to go here in this game, Freddie Durr at the free throw line trying to add on to the and one, and he does.
He's had himself quite the game today, that Freddie Durr.
We'll talk to Freddie Durr coming up at the end of this game. I believe that will be 21 for him. In a game in which the Razor Sharks flirting with 150.
Oh, yeah.
Laying is good for Erie.
Go at him. Don't stop now.
As Randall and Blanks have a little 1-on-1.
Shoot the ball, man.
As Randall's just wearing out the clock. Randall with McDonald on him. Just dribbling out clock here. 3-second difference. Shot clock game top. Freddie Durr waiting for it. Sheehan couldn't get the shot off. So a violation with 2 seconds left to go. And the Razor Sharks won't get one more play left in them, so they'll leave it at 147. Sheehan would have liked to hit that three in the corner to make it 150. But that's not what Rochester will see today. They will see a win, 7-0 for Rochester, 147 to 113. As the Rochester Razor Sharks with a big win today, they improve to 7-0. Erie will fall to 2-4 on the